go home feeling good, but feeling good doesn't mean that you're keeping His commands. It doesn't mean that at all. So what are His commands? Maybe you can help me. In evangelism, what are the commands? Now there's some in the Bible. Do you know which ones they are? He that soweth in tears shall reap in joy. There's one. What other one? Oh, there's a bunch of them. We have two. What other? That's another one. What else? That's right. So there's others. Lift Jesus up and He'll draw all men unto Him. One sows, one reaps, one waters, reaps the harvest.
Promises when the Holy Spirit comes on us that we'll be His witnesses.
That's right. That's a promise. There's a lot of them. Well, how can I participate in that? We're going to participate in that at the jail on April 15th. I'm going there for one express purpose. We're going to spend all day Friday presenting Jesus. We're going to spend most of Saturday presenting Jesus, and we're going to ask and see how many will receive Jesus on that day. Why are we doing that? We're going to cast a wide net and see who we bring in. You see, in my mind, it's drawing the net. We're going to fill the net because, you see, we're going to go catch men. Yeah. We're going to go catch men. That's what it is. Now, edification comes along, and there's discipleship there. There's prayer for healing there. There's prayer for healing and evangelism. All the spiritual gifts work in either one. Some of us will work in both, and some of us don't really put any effort into either one. So if you're a born-again believer and you don't put much effort into the evangelism, you don't put any effort into the edification, what is it you're really doing? Somebody help me. What is it? What are you doing? We're doing something. Yeah. It means you're doing something else that's outside of that. I'm showing my age, but I may say this. You remember some of you might remember in the afternoon TV when you only had 3 channels. You remember that? You had a program on there called The Edge of Night. Any of you remember the program, The Edge of Night? Yeah. If you're not active in evangelism on one side, or not active either in the discipleship or the edification type, you're living on the edge of night. Not in the light, you're living on the edge of darkness. Yes, ma'am? Mm-hmm. 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 But if you're working in one, other giftings should help that. But yes, there are denominations that do that. There are churches that focus mainly on you must be born again. Yeah. And I understand that. But the truth is their edification is needed after that. Somebody doesn't need to be watching our website and call me from Florida because they can't find anybody else. What? Well, that happens somewhat around here all of a sudden. It's a new thing. He said, well, I'm watching your website right now. Can I ask you a question? But he says these people should be asking some of you these questions. Why, we're all involved somewhere in evangelism, And we're all involved somewhere in edification. Are we not? What does edification mean? Somebody help me, if you know. To build up. To build up, to build up, to build up. Evangelism means what? Preach the gospel of the kingdom and win them to Jesus. And then build them up in the faith. That's only two things God actually does. Is what? Evangelism, edification. That's really what it is. Put it under two headings for us. But you should be involved in one or the other. Now, if you got a report card today, what would you get? And Jesus is going to fill out the report card. What are you going to get? Is it important what you get? In our day and time, yes it is. Yeah, because if you love His appearing, really, 1 John here is real interesting, because you're going to hear a lot more about this on Sunday. You say, well, if he's going to talk like this, I'm not going to be here on Sunday. Go ahead. That's why you got it today. Mm-hmm. That's the way it is. It's what we need. And somewhere you need to be active in whatever opportunity He'll give you, because here is a truth. If you tell the Lord through your born-again spirit that I'll serve you in any way, He'll give you opportunity after opportunity to do it. Well, that's the way it works. Well, now, Brother Bob, I don't want to end up with somebody down on the street or something like that. Okay. But if you say, I'll do anything and put a condition on it, you know what the Lord will say? I can't use that. So where your focus is right now, the Holy Spirit may lead you to something secondary you're doing, but also He's going to come along and find out, what is it you're actually doing? What part of what He's talking about here, to live in Him, must walk as Jesus did? Well, so how do we know we have trouble? Well, if you look at verse 9, we find out there's trouble. If you're walking as Jesus did and you hate your brother, do we have trouble? Can the Holy Spirit use that? No. He'll point it out to you. So you need to get right. That's what it says. Anyone who claims to be in the light but hates his brother is still in the darkness. See, what you're stuck in an old TV program. You're still stuck at the edge of night. It is. You remember the TV screen would come all the way down, but one little corner wasn't dark? After I thought about that, I said, the only light you had on there was a little. The rest of it was the night. Okay? But whoever loves his brother lives in the light. There will be nothing in him to make him stumble. Okay. Now, how many of you know that your old nature is roaring? Oh yeah, your old nature can roar. Yeah. What's it wanting to do? Have its own way. Yeah, it wants what it wants when it wants it. But you see, there's other things there. You realize 1 John is the one that's about love. I guess you know that whole book's really about, what he wrote there is really about love, because in there he says twice God is love. But then if you're not there, then the Holy Spirit has some work to do. And if you're really not thinking about it and you're preoccupied with other things, you know what? The Holy Spirit's grieved and you may not even know it. Isn't that sad? You see, there's a lot of things that go on, if you're in the